The San Antonio Spurs held off the Atlanta Hawks 126-125 as Wemby had the game-winning free throw, scoring 24. De'Aaron Fox made his debut, scored 24 points, and had 13 assists. They continue their rodeo road trip in Charlotte tomorrow against the Hornets. They also made a move ahead of today's deadline, acquiring forward Patrick Baldwin Jr. and cash from the Milwaukee Bucks.
If you smoke, take it outside. Get the facts at don'tpassgas.org.
This is Extra Innings with Pledger.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining. Whether it's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in at sasportstar.com, or if you're listening on YouTube, you can also watch the show, comment there, all of the great things. Go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, go ahead and like, subscribe, follow along. We got all of our Super Bowl content up, and today was a heck of a day. Marcus Allen, Emmitt Smith, Daryl Johnston, Thurman Thomas, Chris Myers from Fox Sports, Brian Baldinger, former Cowboys offensive lineman, and the Baldy breakdowns and analyst for the NFL Network, Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio, 6 to 10 weekday mornings with Chris Canty and Evan Cohen. I mean, that was a heck of a day for the Blitz guys down there in New Orleans as they were just ringing it through. And tomorrow, peep it out. Houston Texans Defensive Rookie of the Year last year, Will Anderson Jr., number 3 overall pick. Trade up for him right behind CJ. He's going to be on the show tomorrow. Kyle Turley, Lee Steinberg. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss any of that. So be sure to lock in right here 2 to 6 with the Blitz with Jason and Joe as they're down there in New Orleans. They've got the Ditka cigar party tonight. They've got the Madden party tomorrow, which is going to be awesome. They saw Kendrick Lamar there as he was presented, being the actual halftime show for the Super Bowl. So lots going on down there in New Orleans. And one of my favorite interviews of the day, I'm going to play back to them. If you missed anything, Emmitt Smith, Daryl Johnston, all of them great. Daryl Johnston just joined at 5:30. If you missed it, sasportstar.com in the audio vault, or just go to YouTube in the Big Game 2025 playlist. They're all there. Everybody's there. I've been working diligently to make sure I'm on top of that for you guys so that you can have them all. So if you want to go watch Emmitt Smith, you want to see his reaction, Daryl Johnston, Thurman Thomas, Chris Myers, whoever you may want to see, they're all up there. But two of my favorites from the day, the first one I'm going to play for you, Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike at ESPN was absolutely fantastic today, and they got to talk to her about a bunch of different topics, including the Bachelorette style choosing of a team, because she grew up in St. Louis, lost the Rams, kind of the way, Texans fan, I lost the Oilers growing up. Some of them followed them to Tennessee. The rest of us said, bleep you, Bud Adams. And so it is what it is. But Michelle Smallman on Radio Row today with Jason and Joe was just fantastic.
Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. In New Orleans, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues with the host of Unsportsmanlike, Michelle Smallman, joining us now. You're doing radio. We were talking before we came on about what it's like for you now hosting versus when you were producing. Just overall, your Radio Row experience.
Well, it's really fun to be here. I haven't been to a Super Bowl in like 10 years because I'm from St. Louis and we were the home of the Rams. So we used to go every year. But then obviously the Rams left town. So we had no reason to go to the Super Bowl. And then our show being a studio show last year, it was in Vegas. And there's kind of no point for us to get up at like midnight to do the show and be on Radio Row. So this is the first one I've done in a long time. I forgot what the energy is like and how fun it is. And as soon as you touch down wherever the Super Bowl is, you know that you're in the best place in the world. It's like the epicenter of sports and culture and entertainment. And you just feel the energy of how big of a moment this is. So it's been really fun. It's like it's flying by already.
All right, wait a minute, Michelle. You said something. You're from St. Louis?
Here we go.
Yes, sir, I
You
am.
have to be a Cardinal fan.
Of course I am.
What? I'm going to like you a lot.
Yeah.
I am as well.
Oh my gosh. So we can commiserate together.
Of course we can.
We're in a bad place.
I know it's not good.
It's not going to be good for a while.
It will. Well,
So how about them Astros?
There's always hope.
How about that?
We'll talk later.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
There is always hope. With the
Yes.
Cardinals, they'll
Yes,
find a way.
always.
I don't know.
Always.
As a Cowboy fan, I understand there's always hope.
Oh my gosh. Can I tell you something
yeah, of
that
course.
will probably upset you?
Not really.
But I feel like I need to share this with you now that we're new friends. So Emmett Smith was our final guest on the show today.
Mhm.
And he sat down and Evan said, Brian Schottenheimer, new head coach. What do you think? And he goes, next question.
Whoa.
Yep.
Next question, he said.
That's the last couple of years. What Emmett has said on our show has actually made like Get Up.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about talking to former Cowboy players and how unhappy they are,
And how vocal they are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and your co-host Chris Canty. I mean,
course.
Yes.
same thing. I
CC,
mean,
former
he
Cowboy.
was on the show with us yesterday, and my goodness, I mean, there is bitterness within the family.
Well, as a fan, do you feel bitterness?
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a fan.
Yeah, of course.
I don't have the apathy. I still care.
Good for
But
you.
this year, I made it a point after we got back from Oxnard in training camp and seeing what crap was going on.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to let them ruin my Sundays anymore.
So, but what do you mean by that? Because you're still going to watch. And
I'm
if you
still
watch,
gonna
it's going to
and
inherently ruin your
well,
Sunday.
What my expectation was, I knew this team wasn't going to the Super Bowl.
Gotcha.
See, Cowboy fans every year it's Super Bowl. This
Well,
year,
because Jerry tells you that he's all in.
Sure.
So why wouldn't you believe it?
all in my I mean, there's no way. I mean, but their off-season actions told you they weren't going to be good. This was a great football season as a fan because I wasn't pissed off on Monday.
Good for you.
As pissed. There were a couple times, but normally Cowboy loss ruining your day for
Totally.
Yeah, until at least Wednesday.
Michelle, I have
So
to deal with
Wednesday.
this guy every day and talking about the Cowboys and don't let him kid you. The hope is still there and the optimism. I try to talk him down, but it's very, very
He's
difficult.
a Titan fan. He has no idea what expectations are.
Well, there's a story behind that too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. Spill it. I want to hear it.
Well, I was a Houston Oiler fan growing up, right?
Right.
So I just followed him to Tennessee.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
By
right?
the way, though, those Houston Oilers jerseys, unreal.
They're
I'm s-
beautiful, aren't
I
they?
am so sad that they don't have those anymore. My
I know.
dad actually has a vintage Houston Oilers
Yeah.
t-shirt, and I wore it on the show when Will Levis, I forget if it was his debut or what, he had a great game, and I wore it on the show the next day. The feedback that I got from people who were like, we missed that jersey. What a sick jersey. I'm like, I know. So I understand you wanting to follow your team
Sure.
and have your heart in the NFL. So, because I felt that way. I had to adopt a new team after the Rams were stolen from me.
Who's your new team?
So we did the NFL Bachelorette on Unsportsmanlike. We did a parody of the Bachelorette where I took all 31 teams because the Rams are dead to me, lifetime ban, and I whittled it down to 10, then 6, then 3, and I gave one team my final rose. The final 3 were the Jets, the Bears, and the Packers. So after I revealed it, Jets fans from all over the country, coast to coast, reached out to me and were like, "Do not do this. We were born into this life. You can choose otherwise. Do
Wow.
not be a Jets fan." So I thought to myself, well, because I live in New York City, I thought maybe I would adopt a local team. And I'm like, if people in this relationship are telling me to avoid it, I'm probably going to listen. And then I'm from the Illinois side of the river in St. Louis. I went to the University of Illinois. Even though St. Louis and Chicago naturally have a healthy hatred for one another,
Yes.
I thought, they just drafted Caleb. It could be an exciting time to jump on the bandwagon. But then I was really weighing the pros and the cons. And I'm like, so I'm in this predicament because of a bad owner. Do I really want to put my trust in the McCaskies and the Bears who've been dysfunctional for decades? So I thought, okay, Titletown USA, a young team with a quarterback and a great coach. this is a place that has nice Midwestern fans and cheese, and they have no bad owner lording over the whole deal. The Packers were the pick for me.
Well, you just hit a bad spot.
The yellow pants.
Yeah.
See, I tend to hate all the teams that have yellow pants.
You do?
I do. And it just turned
What's
out
your beef
that
with
way.
yellow pants?
I don't know.
They beat the Cowboys. That's the beef.
Yeah, but even
went into Jerry's World first round of the playoffs last year. Not
Yes.
great.
Like Aaron Rodgers won a lot of Sundays too. I mean, but I don't know what it is. It's the Steelers. You've got the Packers, the Lakers. I don't know what it is about USC.
Yeah.
As a Longhorn fan, there's something about teams with yellow pants I'm just not a fan of.
Well, now you put that in my brain, and now I'm going to be paying attention to teams with yellow pants.
Who looks good in yellow pants?
I think the Packers look great in yellow pants.
So I can't. Are you going to like pack her out? Are you going to wear the cheese head and all that stuff?
Of course. I have one on the studio. Whenever you see me on Sportsmanlike, now you'll be aware of it. Look over my shoulder. They built a shelf there, and it has a little Packers helmet and a Go Pack Go. I have a cheese head. And after that, I gave them the final rose. They sent me to Lambeau for week 2. I did my hometown visit. So I got to actually go there and experience the game, and it was unbelievable. I forgot how great it is to be at the Super Bowl. Living in New York, we don't travel a lot for games. Not having the Rams in town for 10 years now, I forgot how special it is to go to an NFL game when you care, when you actually want the outcome to be for your team, because I've had nothing but apathy for a decade. So it was a very cool experience. I loved it.
That's all.
That was Michelle Smallman earlier today on Radio Row, joining the Blitz as our big game coverage down there in New Orleans all week long, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, is also brought to you in part by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, Circa Las Vegas, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's worthy to go back and watch the video on our YouTube page. I would suggest that. It was fantastic. She's great, and it's a wealth of knowledge, great personality. Just really, really enjoyed that interview with them today. And it's amazing because we're at this weird moment in sports, right? Where kind of a nexus, your Super Bowl, everything's happening, NBA trade deadline, usually of late kind of been a dud, but we've seen Luka moved and AD moved and De'Aaron Fox moved and Jimmy Butler moved. And there was rumors about KD moving today. Is this the biggest deadline day in the history in terms of the big names that have moved during the trade season this year? It feels like it. It's incredible, but De'Aaron Fox made his debut finally last night with the San Antonio Spurs as the Spurs beat the Hawks over there in Atlanta, and there's a lot to like. We'll go over Fox's debut in the silver and black and what you think about it, what they still need. I think it was pretty glaring. It's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Trump said no more censorship and immediately called the big boss at iHeart. I said, hey, I would be the first one to drop an F-bomb on FCC radio.
Right.
And he wrote back, you already have. And he's like, we've got a document of it. But I said, I want to be the first one to do it, legally.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Score big with LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin, the MVPs of the field. LS Tractors, the star quarterbacks of farming, perfect for tough tasks for farm, ranch, and landscaping. Dietz Tractors has your all-star coaching staff for top-notch equipment. They're not just selling tractors, they're building lasting relationships with unmatched dealer support for parts and maintenance. It's a winning strategy that goes beyond the final whistle. Don't miss the game-winning move. 0% financing available with approved credit on LS Tractors. Start blue, stay blue at Dietz Tractor in Seguin.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business. Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it and will beat any print quote. Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs. No problem. I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens. Totally. I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing. I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. N-store 5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in-store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
What's up, football fans? Are you excited for the big game and ready to get in on the action? Look no further than the BetMGM Sportsbook app. Sign up using bonus code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, to get up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. Be sure to lock in your picks on this year's big game in New Orleans with the Sportsbook born in Vegas. Earn MGM rewards points from your bets, take advantage of offers found nowhere else, and look out for surprise rewards dropping in your account all year. There's no better place to enjoy the big game than BetMGM. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This specific promotional offer is not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hi, everyone. Tom Mustin here for the Legal Help Center. If you or a loved one were injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up, because we have legal professionals standing by right now to answer your questions for free. You'll find out if you have a case and how much money it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550. That's 800-460-3550. The call is free, the consultation is free, and you can speak with a live agent 24/7. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident of any kind, take advantage of this opportunity and speak with a live agent right now. Find out if you have a case and how much money you could potentially get. Call 800-460-3550. That's 800-460-3550. 800-460-3550. Call now. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, I appreciate a good trolling every once in a while. J4 on our YouTube live feed. If you want to be a part of the show, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, or, comment along on our YouTube page at SA Sports Star. J4 says that was a solid debut against that middle school Hawks team. You're right, it was. So if the Spurs have a worse record than the Hawks, does that make them less than middle school? Intermediate? Elementary? We're the Spurs. Because the Hawks have a better record. So you can have the best player in the world, but doesn't guarantee you wins if you don't got a good team surrounding them. But it was a solid look. There were still issues, and there will continue to be issues, and I'm not sure a lot of those issues are going to be fixed this year. Same issues that I've seen through most of the season. Wemby was gassed. When Wemby goes to the bench, they give up a lot of points. It's very, very difficult. Only now, at least when Wemby goes to the bench and the team goes into these scoring funks, you have a De'Aaron Fox who can help to provide at least some offense when the rest of the offense isn't really clicking and they're getting bad shots or taking bad shots. And we've seen it all year long. And they go through droughts, and they don't have another big man behind Wemby. And with Bassey hurt, and Zach Collins traded for everybody that wanted him gone, that Sohan's your only other big on the roster. And it's not really a big. They traded for Patrick Baldwin. He's a G League player. He's not going to give you any minutes. Now, could they go get a Mo Bamba off free agency after he was waived earlier this week? Potentially. Similar build to Wemby. So, long, lean guy. Maybe you can get, 10, 15 minutes a night out of him to hopefully give Wemby some more breathers, because it's been consistent towards the end of games. Sometimes he just looks gassed. And they're going to need to do something to help him in some way, shape, or form. And at least Bamba, shoots nearly 36% from behind the arc, 7-footer, 7'10" wingspan, at least gives you something. So maybe Baldwin's a move they made, got some money, they'll release him and go sign a Mo Bamba. But De'Aaron Fox did help, at least with the scoring droughts and stuff like that. Earlier this morning, Rob Thompson and AJ Hoffman were reacting to what we saw from De'Aaron's debut for the Spurs.
Listen, man, these two guys have the opportunity to be special. I still think there needs to be, the more they put pieces around them, the better I think they can become. And I've said it a million times over. I'll keep saying it. They need to add some shooters to space the floor a little bit, and they still need to find a big man to do big man things. But I really do believe the pick and roll with those two guys can eventually be what this team's identity is. And that's going to be a real problem.
Which broadcast did you watch? Did you watch the local or did you watch the ESPN?
I watched the ESPN.
See, I started with the ESPN and I watched the second half with Sean and Kobe.
I'll be honest. I don't, unless it's awful, I don't really pay attention to broadcasts.
I thought it was our broadcast because it was Richard Jefferson. And I thought, well, maybe Sean's taking the night off and Jefferson was doing it. I really wasn't paying attention because it was in the background.
Yeah.
It was interesting to hear Richard Jefferson's perspective on the Spurs because he did spend some time inside the gate. I mean, he'd been around here for a minute. And talking about the fact that the way that De'Aaron Fox walked in and played in a system that is so regimented. I mean, the Spurs, it is a system. And how impressed he was watching De'Aaron step on the court in a system that was completely regimented. And there was a point in the second, and I believe it was the second quarter, where Jefferson said, okay, look on the court right now. Everybody out there's a system guy.
Yeah.
And that he wasn't trying to be negative. He goes, what's going on right now is practice for De'Aaron. De'Aaron's watching what this offense is supposed to look like with all the guys that know what the offense does. So they did it. They ran the offense with all those guys in, And then 2 minutes later, De'Aaron comes in and they ran the offense. So De'Aaron was getting some OJT in game. And while it was happening in that second quarter, in that system, that was the best the Spurs played all night. And De'Aaron really wasn't a part of that.
We'll go back to hearing more from De'Aaron, but I just like I said, that was what it was like for Fox to play with Wemby for the first time. They asked Wemby the same thing, how he felt being out there with De'Aaron.
I mean, of course, it's a surprise for nobody, but we all for it. We all enjoy it. I mean, just brings a lot on the table for us.
Wemby's not easy to understand in general, but when you record his audio with a potato, it is tougher.
And you're only about 3 feet tall, evidently, and can't quite even get past his waist.
I've noticed that. Like, it's so apparently everybody else is putting they're putting up microphones and cell phones, and we put literally a potato, and we say, okay, can you speak directly into this potato? And that's the audio that we get from it. After a lot of rendering, right, Vic? After we render it,
that was as clean as we could get it.
After we render it,
there were points last night, AJ, as I just can't believe he's a Spur. I just can't believe that they've managed to pull this off. It still doesn't
can't believe
feel
that
real.
He wanted to be a Spur. It's kind of awesome.
When he first of all, when he started, I was like, okay, this is real. When he came walking out, it became completely real. And then I think it might have been the second possession. It wasn't more than a minute or two off the clock when he turned the corner on Trey and was in the paint in a whisper. He is so ridiculously fast. We haven't seen anything like this in San Antonio. We've seen Tony at his best, but nothing like what we're about to have, because we've got a couple of Greyhounds now.
The problem is still going to be figuring out how to use it properly.
Oh, my goodness. We don't know what. This is a brand new tool. I don't even know how to begin to use this.
And the challenge is De'Aaron Fox has been this his entire career, or at least the last several years of his career. And guess what? The Kings haven't been a very good team. So there needs to be like a way to harness this and use it for good.
I will say this: we lose but for him last night,
100%.
So
100%.
I mean, there's other stuff in Sacramento, and you do have to adopt a winning mentality. But I'll tell you what: to step on the court last night, 13 assists and 1 turnover. You can't script that.
And I love the fact that now, when you've got Chris Paul, you've got De'Aaron Fox, you've got even Steph Castle. You have so many guys who can handle the ball. And I don't know if that's the direct correlation between last night winning the turnover battle 2-1, but I think it certainly helps.
It matters
when everybody on the floor can handle the ball a little bit. Like it'll also help when one of those guys gets hurt. Your ball handling doesn't fall off the map. Your play creation doesn't fall off the map. Those are big deals, man. And the fact that you've got this group of guys who obviously have very different skill sets, but can all run the offense that is a nice luxury to have.
Well, that closeout last night, when you knew that you didn't have to go good to better, we didn't have to have an offense to get a bucket. We have a guy now. We have a guy that we can just give the ball to, and he can go get a bucket.
And that's true. J4 now just wants to get into an arguing contest about, the West is deeper. I mean, East and West still play each other. It's not like they're beholden and have to play their own conferences. They do match up against each other, strength of schedule, whatever. I mean, Spurs have lost a bunch of games they shouldn't, J4. And they're two teams right in a very similar spot. So it is what it is. You can say what you want about the Eastern Conference. There's still some really good teams and the defending NBA champion in the Eastern Conference with the Celtics. And you got the Cavs playing extremely well. Orlando up and coming. Detroit has jumped out of the gutter finally. Knicks made some moves. Bucks. Trust me. I wouldn't sell the Eastern Conference short. call it a JV league or anything like that. Still pretty darn good. And yes, the West is deeper. Yes, the West is stronger. And yes, Oklahoma City is the best team in the NBA at all. Period. End of statement. Best. The way they'll just lock in defensively is very impressive. But they beat a team that they're on par with. And the score showed you how on par they probably truly are with one another. But the Spurs need a big. And there's not a lot of them available. And Mo Bamba is probably the best one that's available. There's just not a lot of other names there. Chimezi Metu, Jahlil Okafor, Robin Lopez, who's retired, I believe. Like those are the names available to you in free agency. So that's a hole that's not getting plugged at any point in time soon. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Maybe they can become buyers in the buyout market. If some, I wouldn't say quality, but at least rotational bigs get waived at some point in time before the end of the deadline. I am James Pledger. This is Extra Innings with Pledger right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back earlier today in the Blitz, really great interview with Brian Baldinger. Love Baldy. Baldy's breakdowns, and nobody knows offensive line play and can break it down more interestingly than one Brian Baldinger. He broke down both the Cowboys and the Texans' offensive line struggles this year. We'll get into that when we come back right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, the trade deadline has come and gone. Is there a new Spur to talk about?
And I think there's a football game on Sunday. We'll take our last look at the Super Bowl. Party starts at 6. Don't be late.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Try Round Table Pizza's new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. And don't forget to pair it with our irresistible shareables, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. The perfect bite to complement your meal. Find the nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Folks, there's nothing romantic about home repairs, but when your plumbing has lost that love and feeling and your AC is about to achy break your heart, call Quarterman Plumbing, Heat, and AC at 210-651-5899. We'll fix the issue fast at a great price with a servant spirit.
Joel, this is a special Valentine gift from me to you.
Yeah, but why are your arms red?
I got a deal on this plant for your office.
That's poison ivy, Nigel.
It's what?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure, and I appreciate you all for rolling through with me tonight right here on San Antonio Sports Star. If you feel free to call in, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Also keep that number handy, as coming up after this, I will be giving away tickets to go see blues guitarist Chris Stone Kingfish Ingram when he plays on May 14th at the Aztec Theater. Of course, San Antonio Sports Star. You listen, you win. We got a chance for y'all to win coming up here in just a few moments. But first, I love Brian Baldinger of the NFL Network, former offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, the way he breaks down offensive line film, he really does make it easily ingestible for the common fan who does not understand assignments, the blitz, twists, gains, things that they may be doing to confuse the offensive line to get an advantage. And he does a great job of A, breaking down what the defensive lines are doing, and B, breaking down what the offensive line responsibility should be and where the failures happen. And there were a lot of those failures for both the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans this year. And Baldy was talking about the offensive line play of both of those franchises earlier today on Radio Row with Jason and Joe on the Blitz.
One thing I can't do is judge offensive line play. That's one thing that I've just never been able to be good at, unless he's helping up the quarterback. Well, I know he's having a bad day.
But, okay, fair enough. But, I thought Brock Hoffman played good at center and guard. Zach goes down. It's not easy to replace Zach. You got a rookie in Cooper Beebe out there learning the business. Tyler Guyton, I thought would struggle to start with, but he's got all the talent in the world. But I thought it was going to take a while before he kind of settled in. He had flashes. He's good in the run game. I think he's got, a lot of things to work on. But they had a lot of changes on that line throughout the year. But, you look at the running back. He had a great season. Nobody knew what he was. I thought they ran the ball pretty well at times throughout the year, and he was a big part of it. And I thought up front they played pretty good to do that.
What do you think about Zach Martin? When you watch him this year especially, is he close to being done, or do you think he's got some more left in the tank?
I would never tell a player. Like I always,
well, sure.
Like if Zach was sitting here right now, I would tell Zach, play as long as you can, and then 2 more years. You know, that because you got to exhaust it out of your body. You know, he largely has been healthy throughout his career, 9, 10 years, whatever it is. You know, everybody knows the stat. He's got more first-team All-Pros than holding calls in his career. Like, we might never see that again. I don't think he's the same player that he was, say, 3 years ago, but he's also seeing a lot better players in front of him. You know, Jalen Carter is a handful. You know, I mean, Zach Martin in his prime, that'd be a handful. But, you know, he's got to play next to a rookie center, you know, learn that. You know, there's learning curves. The center is the strength of your offense line. The better your center is. Tyler Biotis made a big difference in Washington. You know, Travis Frederick made a difference when he was in Dallas. You got to give Cooper a chance to grow into the position. And I think Zach will play better if the center gets better. But I would say Zach still has good football left in him.
Brian Baldinger here on the Blitz. Looking at the offensive line, you mentioned Tyler Guyton, and hopefully he'll be like Tyler Smith.
Yep.
Get through the rookie year and then blossom. Terrence Steele on the right side, a kid from San Antonio. We've seen him since he was in high school.
Texas Tech, man.
He played so well and got the contract, but last year seemed like a rough year.
I would say that's fair, but it was a rough year for all of the offense. Sometimes they all go together. You know, they didn't have a guy like Tony Pollard that, you know, was going to get you explosive runs, at least initially, early on in the season. But I feel like Terrence is always just going to be a blue-collar guy out there. I don't think you're ever going to see a guy that's just going to shut people out. Like, I don't think you're going to get that. And if you're playing from behind and teams are coming after you, you're probably going to have days where you look like you struggle out there. So, I think we've seen the best of Terrence Steele, which isn't bad if everything else is going good.
When you look at this, and I want to ask you about this because Micah Parsons said something yesterday that
he always is saying something.
Well, of course, right? He said that even if the Cowboys would have signed Derrick Henry, he wouldn't have had the year that he had in Baltimore with that football team. He sounded really dejected with that as well. Do you think that that's true first and foremost?
Yes, I do, because of Lamar. I mean, I think Lamar made Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry made Lamar. I think the style of offense, how they did have 3 new offensive linemen that had to kind of learn their things. They had a rookie right tackle, ended up playing really well. But I think Lamar opened up a lot of the run game too. And so I thought they went hand in hand. I thought it was a perfect fit. That's not what Dak does. That's not what Cooper Rush does. So I don't think he would have had the same season that he had in Baltimore.
Brian Baldinger here on the Blitz. Let's go to the other way in Texas, talk about the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud, an incredible rookie year. And it's not like he had a bad year this year, but he didn't play at the same level. And the Texans at times, they were clunky offensively. What were you seeing in your breakdowns of film with what was going wrong in Houston?
Well, the offensive line committed way too many penalties. And it was across the board. It was pre-snap penalties. It was holding. It felt like they were always behind the sticks for much of the year. And then, you know, you lose Tank, you lose your 2 receivers, you lose Mixon for almost a month. Like, I thought they lost a lot around the quarterback. You know, and in the playoff game, look, I don't advocate anybody getting fired, but Bobby Slowick was not good in that game. You can't put Dalton Schultz on Karlaftis. You know, leave him and slide the line away from him. You can't do that. They did it 3 times. It led to, you know, bad plays in a game where they were in it. You know, it's a 1-score game. So I thought there was a lot around. Like, when I saw Houston this year in Cleveland, when they were practicing at the University School, they played in the Hall of Fame game. They stayed in Cleveland to get ready for the first preseason game against Pittsburgh. So I went out and I saw them practicing, and I thought, this is a Final Four team. The additions of Daniil and Danico, and, you know, just the return of CJ, you know, with the receiver, I thought they had a chance. And then it really, outside of that first game against Indianapolis, where CJ was unbelievable in that game, I felt like they never really got to where they were the year before.
He's right. And that gives you hope as a Texans fan, if you will, because I look at what happened in Houston this past season. Is it the talent or was it the coaching? And offensive line coach is gone. You promoted the assistant offensive line coach and you hired Nick Caley. Now, Bobby Slowick apparently could not. Like, he could be a genius on the whiteboard, but when it came to the offensive line, I think that's where the breakdown happened, is the protection versus the play. At least with Nick Caley, who is a tight ends coach, passing game coordinator, he knows both parts of it because of dealing with tight ends. You know the offensive line and the protection and the benefit of that, and you know the passing game concepts and being able to marry those two things. And I think that could be very big. And maybe, just maybe, while the Cowboys seemingly look like they may need to move on from a Terrence Steele in order to put their best offensive line on the field moving forward, maybe there's something salvageable with the Houston Texans offensive line if they can get in the right scheme. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Right now, I'd like to give away some tickets. We've got a blues guitarist, Christone Kingfish Ingram. He is coming to the Aztec Theater on May the 14th. And if you'd like to go see that show, we'll call him right now, 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776. First one in, you're going to see Christone Kingfish Ingram when he plays at the Aztec Theater on May the 14th. And remember, if you don't win your tickets here, you can always get them at livenation.com. We'll put a bow on the show coming up next, right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
94.1 FM.
Having a party for the big game? Let Smoky Mo's handle the barbecue. Go with the Big Game Rib Party Pack. 3 pounds of delicious Smoky Mo's slow smoked ribs, plus sides. Or get the Tailgate Party Pack, a buffet in a box with brisket, turkey, sausage, and sides. Add in a Baker Bar Group Pack. The chopped baked potato bar is perfect for groups. Smoky Mo's is great Texas barbecue that will make your big game party super. Order online at SmokyMo'sBBQ.com. Smoky Mo's, the pit is lit.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer. Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale is happening now. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-298-6544. That's 800-298-6544. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-298-6544 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
What's wrong, Cupid? Lost my mojo. These arrows just don't work like they used to. The facts are people falling in love thanks to Connecticut, not poor old Cupid. You don't say. Oh, absolutely. Look over there. She's got silky smooth hair thanks to a Connecticut water softener. He's got softer skin and cleaner clothes, and now they're all lovey-dovey. Makes me sick. Don't feel bad, Cupid. You still have your bow and arrow. I know a Connecticut runs on kinetic energy like my bow and arrow. There's no computer to break. A Connecticut has it all.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
You know, you're right. I love my Connecticut too. My diaper has never looked so white. And my wings, oh, I look good. Cupid, you can always come to work for me, but you're going to have to wear pants.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Don't forget, join Rob and AJ tomorrow morning on the Morning Huddle as they get you ready for the big game, which you can catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star on Sunday evening when the Chiefs take on the Eagles. That game is brought to you by Flight by Yingling. The next generation of light beer starts at 5:30 right here on your home for the NFL, San Antonio Sports Star. Be sure to check in with the Blitz tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 6. Will Anderson Jr., Lee Steinberg, Kyle Turley, whole bunch of guests coming down the pipe. And, of course, I'll be right back here with you tomorrow night from 6 to 7 on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Be sure to have a great one. Congratulations to Carlos for winning those tickets to go see Chris Stone Kingfish Ingram, as he'll be playing at the Aztec Theater coming up in May. And don't forget, our big game coverage kicks off again for the last time tomorrow with the Blitz. It is AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage live from New Orleans. The big game brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, Circa Las Vegas, Smoky Mo's Barbecue, Synergenics, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rind. So make sure to go and join them tomorrow and get right back here tomorrow night as I'll take you home from 6 to 7. Reach out to your loved ones. Let them know what's going on. A big happy birthday to my sister, Beverly. Not going to say her age. No better than that, but happy birthday to my sis today. Reach out to your loved ones. Let them know that you're thinking about them, and you never know what people are going through, so you never know how much that may help. Love all and appreciate all y'all listening out there, and we will see you back here tomorrow on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. It really was fun to watch.
But it's funny hearing JD's comments.
At some point, somebody pointed at another player, and that's a penalty. He didn't flip him off. He didn't call his mother a name.
He knocked him 6 feet down the field and then pointed at him. That's taunting.